So the first piece we're going to play is called Bayete, which is like a formal greeting in the Zulu language. It's composed by Andrew Eagle, so set it up. I mentioned at the beginning of the first set that this is the fourth time the Darius Brubeck Quartet has appeared here. The first time was in 2019, and that was marking the 60th anniversary of the release of the Time Out album in 1959. And I wanted to begin with energy and with explaining what we're doing. But I have a sad announcement to make. Is the reason we were able to do this 4 times, play for you, I recognize many of you have seen us before here, is due to a man named Martin Hummel, who founded Ubuntu Records. That ties in beautifully with South Africa. Ubuntu is the concept of respect and humanity in that culture. It means there are various explanations, but it's really I'm human because you are. It's about relationship. That you're only fully yourself in relation to other people. And Ubuntu Records was created purely out of the idealism and love of music that motivated Martin Hummel. Our records and many recordings, primarily British, but some American and other nationalities have gone on to Ubuntu Records because it's a kind of collective thing. The artists buy into it as well. We're not employed. We are, in effect, the employers, but somebody has to be the center. Someone has to be the hub that holds it all together and have the vision and then oversee all the logistics. If you think about what goes into doing it, you know, from the artwork, the technical aspect, the marketing, of course. I don't want to give you a whole university lecture, but I can see you're listening, and I can tell you're interested in how this works. You're a real music crowd. So the jazz scene in particular, because that's what Ubuntu is focused on, has really borne a great loss. That information was embargoed until now, but an announcement has been sent out to media. We got it on our phones. I actually heard about it on Friday, which is when Martin Hummel passed. So obviously we're dedicating this set to him, and I have a few more words to say about it, I promise you, relatively few. The reason we're playing the Jazzanians, that album was recorded in 1988. I told you about the background. And I told that story to Martin, and he really got very interested into it. And it was a project that he helped me see through from beginning to end. So it's been repackaged, remastered, repressed. It from a technical standpoint, all right, the music sounds like however you hear it, but I mean, if you remember what 1988 sounded like, that's about what it sounds like. But in terms of the clarity of the pressing and everything, it's like it could have been made at Abbey Road yesterday. It's amazing what Martin oversaw and managed to make happen for us. So we're going to continue with the set, and of course we're inspired but also saddened, and we're dedicating this set to the memory of Martin Hummel. And if you are interested, remember, I'm sure you'll start reading eulogies and obits in the music magazines. The next tune we're going to play is something that was a big hit in South Africa many years ago, and it's called Zandili. Next piece we're going to do is composed by Andrew Eagle here. And Andrew apparently has a following. Okay, those of you who are somehow connected, and I feel there's a lot of that connection in this room with South African history, will realize that 1988 was 2 years before Mandela was released from prison, 4 years before the first democratic election. And the title of this song is "We Have Waited Too Long," which has its obvious implications. And I'll just tell you something a little bit about Andrew. The way he ended up in England is wanting to avoid being drafted into military service for the apartheid regime, and he was very active in something that was called the End Conscription Campaign and led bands at some risk to himself, and but anyway, he made it over here, and this is his piece. He's going to introduce it with a little guitar intro, and hopefully we've learned the rest of it. next piece I'm going to play is one written by the keyboard player, the Jazzanians. By the way, this was a group of students I taught, but I never played in the group. It was a point of pride that they wrote their material. They came up with the arrangements mostly. You know, I just coached and tweaked things. And Melvin Peters is now, you know, considered. Oh, do people recognize him? Well, he's the head of music at a big church in Durban. He's been, well, who knows who really does or doesn't deserve these kind of things, but I'm proud to say that he's recognized as a South African national treasure, you know, as an artist that's achieved that sort of official recognition. And this was his contribution to the album. When one talks about the wars that are going on and the struggles, it just takes all the oxygen out of the room. So I'm not going to do that, but I will say that we can all agree that peace is better than war. Yeah. And I believe that's what Melvin is saying here. Thank you very much. Piecemeal by Melvin Peters. We're going to follow that with a piece co-composed by the original trumpet player Johnny Mekwa and guitarist Zami Duze, and it's called Sehamba Nabo. And when Johnny used to introduce this, he used to translate it into English as we go along, but it kind of means more than that. Sehamba Nabo implies like we're on a journey together. And it's one of those pieces where if we started it at the beginning of the set and we're still playing it, that would be a typical South African performance of a tune like that. It's very cyclical and circular, and hopefully we'll get caught up in the trance, and you'll all go on the journey with us. Sehamba Nabo.
Yeah, Dave and Byron are blowing smoke out of their horns now. Did you see? Yeah, no monitor. Thanks for shouting out for Tegela Rail. I'll tell you the truth. We didn't rehearse that one, but I'm so glad some people still know that. We're going to conclude this set now with a number that I wrote about a place on the outskirts of Durban called the Rainbow. And it was exactly on the dividing line between where in those days white people could have businesses and black people could. And it was a bus rank where the African labor force would come into town, and of course the Rainbow was set up ideally on that border to be a jazz club, which is what it became, the Rainbow Restaurant and Jazz Club. I played many a gig there, sometimes as a headliner, sometimes as the pickup pianist for a South African star like Winston Mankunku or Ezra Nkokana, Barney Rachabani. See, a lot of you know more than I ever expected, and that's terrific. So this is the one tune on the album that I did write myself, dedicated to the Rainbow and that experience. It was a club that created a sense of the future of what South Africa could really be like as a society. It was completely integrated. It didn't matter that I was a white guy trying to keep up with some black guys who were like the headline acts or vice versa. The audience was completely mixed, enthusiastic, standing and dancing and eating and drinking and smoking, which was both legal and illegal. And so that was a scene, and it persisted for 30 years. I will, without making too much of a commercial pitch, but I will let you know that the Jazzanians album is available at the merch table near the door as you go out, and this was a wonderful pet project of the now deceased Martin Hummel. It's LP and CD. If the music we played for you tonight interests you, have a look at the merch. Once again, thank you for being an amazing audience. I wish we'd rehearsed more music. We could play all night. Well, you probably can't stand as long as that. This is okay. So this is the Rainbow. Brubeck, Montana. Thank you so much. It's been terrific. I love you.